Hi, and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. I'm Bobby Quarters. Chaos is here with me as well. We just wanted to thank you for watching.
Yes. Hey, Bobby.
And hey, and while you're here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on YouTube as well as Chaos and the podcast channel, which all three of those channels will be streaming this very show you're about to watch. All these counselors start dropping dead, left and right. Heinous killings. Turns out, that kid who drowned the year before, his mother came back to that camp and exacted revenge.
My work is inevitable. There will always be more to finish it.
This is just the beginning. She tore a hole in space. There's a different reality leading into ours.
They want a good show. That's all they want.
There's 24 of us, Gail. Only one comes out. So you're here to make me look pretty?
And so it was decreed that each year the 12 districts shall offer up in tribute one young man and woman between the ages of 12 and 18, and to be prepared to fight to the death.
This is the time to show them everything.
Loki, how much do you know?
Let's assume I don't know much, but I'm a fast learner, and I'm a god.
Well, let's start at the beginning.
All of existence is in grave danger. The TVA is gone. I need everyone to help us fix it.
Oh, it's a party.
Loki, if you're too late, you will be lost to time forever.
Hello, and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. Hello, Bobby. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I decide, for once, I'm not just gonna throw you up there.
Ha ha.
Just have some fun with it. But yes, there's a podcast going on today, a normal one. Last week we had the concert, and everybody was like, "Hey, why didn't you talk about the Marvels?" It's like, Depeche Mode was on the same day. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, no.
How many times are Depeche Mode going to be in town? Come on.
Yeah, no. How was the show?
It was excellent. I would put it in my top 3.
Okay, all right.
So very
Excellent.
good show.
Glad to hear it.
But yes, it's today we got a good one too. We got the Marvels, which I have thoughts, and then what we got? We got Hunger Games. I know you have thoughts. I have thoughts as well.
I have thoughts.
Yeah. And then we got Loki. All 3 of these I have thoughts on of varying quality levels. Yes.
Yeah. I'd say that's a fair assessment.
Yes. I guess.
And I've had time to stew at my Loki and Hunger Games.
Ooh. Hold on. I didn't get the slides ready.
Oh no.
Well, I did get them ready. I just don't have them queued up.
Well, like I've always said, fuck it, we'll do it live.
That is live streaming to a T. That like Bill O'Reilly set the whole standard for live streaming. It's you just go in there and then you're like, oh shit, I don't have anything set up. I'll just funnel through. All right, here we go. Are we ready for Marvels?
Yeah. Let's dive into it.
So the Marvels. So obviously all the chuds are attacking this. Oh my god, there's so many vaginas and superheroes.
Oh,
in
that's
this.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
other than
it's
that,
very annoying.
other than that peanut gallery,
And I would like to come here and tell you they are all wrong. They're all fucking well, they are all fucking stupid, but they're all fucking stupid. This is a great movie.
Well, I mean,
And I
yeah,
I can't.
they're dumb.
Yeah, no, they're dumb. Like, I will say, like, pretty much all the reasons I've seen for them giving as to why this movie sucks are just the worst things ever. Because there
Because
are
a
reasons
woman,
why this movie is
because
weak.
it's all female leads.
Yeah, it's largely it. You know,
Wow, that's some
being girl brands now, apparently, according to Chris Gore. We'll be covering some of that tomorrow on the live stream, but yeah, this is I guess I'll go ahead and be blunt. I don't hate this, but I don't think I'd recommend it. This feels a bit messy, and I'll just come out and say
like it in the sense of like plot and story. Yeah, it felt a bit messy at points.
And I will say, what I strongly suspect after watching this is that like this is a victim of the strikes. I suspect that they had reshoots and rewrites that they need to do that they just didn't do, and and we ended up with kind of like an early draft of this movie, released to cinemas. And it could be worse. Like, go ahead, Bobby.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Like, this definitely seems like a victim of the strike, which we're probably going to see that with a few newer releases so quickly right after the announcement of the end of it. And this was something that was going. I believe it was like what, pre or post production, around like the start of right before they went on strike.
It was definitely post production, but it
so
just
maybe
feels
they
like
didn't get to do reshoots.
Yeah, it just feels like there's lots of sloppy story elements that aren't incorporated properly. So much of this movie is just going to an event and then explaining the exact mechanics of that event, and then like moving on to the next event, and then dropping all the mechanics just introduced and introducing new mechanics to this new event. And nothing really comes together, which is frustrating. Real quick, I don't want to completely pan this though. I want to say our three leads right here, Brie Larson,
all fucking amazing.
Yeah, all three of them are fucking great. I think they are definitely the highlight. There's a couple of dramatic moments between them, especially between Monica and Carol, because Carol's like to go into a bit of the backstory. After Captain Marvel 1, Carol went and destroyed the Supreme Intelligence and got named the Annihilator, and she felt kind of like ashamed, like she was like this like person that probably shouldn't be around Monica, and she kind of isolated herself from Monica, which is why she hasn't been around. And Monica's kind of pissed at her for not being around. So like there's some great dramatic moments between them, and then of course you have Miss Marvel, who's just the huge Captain Marvel fangirl, and there's lots of charm from that. I like the return of like her little hand-drawn animation fan comic things. There's some good character stuff here. In fact, if there was more character stuff here, I'd probably give it a positive, because the little bit of character stuff they have is really fucking good, and the three leads carry it extremely well. Here, Michael Richardson. It sounds like we're about the same, except you probably like it a bit more. I'd recommend it. A bit half-baked and over-edited. It was enjoyable and basically pretty good. Yeah, like I said, I don't quite recommend it, but like it could have been a lot worse. I mean,
it absolutely could have been a lot worse, and I still enjoyed this. And like it did seem a bit jumpy in like moving the story along. I kind of felt like the origin of the villain seemed like I had just seen this in a different superhero movie recently. So it's just kind of more of, oh, really? We're going to that well again? Okay.
Well, that's the thing. So this supervillain's also, she's fairly forgettable, honestly. She didn't thrill me. And it's like she's obviously like the new Ronin, and it's like that has potential. She's kind of and I like kind of explain. So I would say like the most important movies for backstory here. And I would also stress, like, I feel like backstory is important here because they don't really explain much going in. I think, to a degree, Marvel should expect people to be somewhat familiar. But like a little bit of explanations for stuff, I don't think is uncalled for, and they don't really do any. They don't really.
I did notice something about this. Normally, like we'll get like a title card in the beginning.
Yeah.
We didn't get the title card till the end. Like it went right into it. Right after the Marvel's title card and went right into it.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I was like, okay, so no title card? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. I will also add, so there's one thing that honestly, it's probably because they aren't paying their VFX workers enough, but there was
Probably.
a fair amount of sloppy effects here. This isn't the worst, but they could be better. There's lots of stuff that look kind of staged and set up, and I want to stress again, I don't want to dislike this movie, especially considering the reaction to it. This movie is actually becoming the MCU's first flop. And like I said, it'd be nice to come out and say, hey, I love this movie. I don't know what people are talking about. Go watch it. You know, I kind of want to root for the underdog almost at this point. Of course, I don't know. MCU is not much of an underdog, but
yeah, not so much anymore.
Yeah. You know, one flop out of 20 or 25 movies plus doesn't seem like a huge deal. But yeah, I wanted it to be better. That is for damn sure. But yeah, like I said, I think the three actresses have great dramatic moments. It's really nice. I wish there was more for the villain. The villain, a really good villain, might have helped like seal the deal for this for me because she just ended up being kind of really forgettable.
Generic.
She's not Malekith forgettable, but she's up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like. Because I feel like you do kind of need to watch the backstory for this. The most important stuff to watch for this would probably be so obviously Captain Marvel, WandaVision, Miss Marvel, and the first Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's like some key stuff for the origin of the villain right there.
Well, also you'd probably have to watch Secret Invasion too.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not. I won't say no to that one either.
Yeah.
I will say I hate this. I would say I probably overall enjoyed this a bit more than Secret Invasion, simply because the ending of Secret Invasion was just so. And then
kind
this
of
one
draggy.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. Bobby, where are you at?
Well, I didn't hate it. I didn't like.
Yeah, I didn't either. But
I kind of really enjoyed a lot of Kamala's fangirling out over Captain Marvel, like that. I found very entertaining and funny because that I found that to be one of the most endearing parts of her character in Miss Marvel. Yeah, the chemistry with both the actors I really enjoyed. Or all three of them, but yeah, the villain just it felt like it was like just kind of
Yeah, and then I was gonna say a key example I can think of in this movie about how the story feels kind of fucking sloppy. So you remember Goose, who's the cat / Flurkin in this movie. There's this subplot where Flurkin's on the Saber space station. And she's just laying eggs. Funny. Yeah, it was funny, but like she's laying eggs, and then the eggs start destroying the space station, so they have to have the Flurk in order to fit into the escape pods because they don't have enough escape pods. They have to have the Flurkins eat people, and then put the Flurkins in the escape pods, and then get them down and regurgitate them. And my biggest issue with all this is that it doesn't really relate to anything else. It just feels like an absolute side adventure. So it's like, it feels like lots of almost like it's like a mini story, but like I feel like for a movie it needs to sync up a lot more.
Yeah, the Flurkin eggs kind of did come out of nowhere, but the fact that they were kittens and like the line of like, so we're literally hurting cats.
Yeah,
that genuinely got a laugh out of me because like working in the service industry, I've used that term before so many times. So it's just kind of a yes, you are hurting cats. That's beautiful.
Samuel, thank you for the super chat. Would the Marvels be Marvel's Good Dinosaur or Cars 2? Good Dinosaur. Good Dinosaur, like Cars 2, I actually think is kind of a bad movie. The only thing that I would say is a plus in that one is that it has Bruce Campbell in the beginning. Good Dinosaur is okay.
Does his car like break down or die like horrifically?
Well, he dies. He's the American secret agent at the beginning.
That's marvelous.
Let's see. There was something else I thought I wanted to go into.
Post-credit scene?
Oh yeah, we could talk about post-credit scene for sure. Spoiler, Beast is in this movie.
Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
Yeah. So the movie ends with Monica being presumed dead, but you know we're fairly sure she's not. And yeah, she's in she's in an alternate timeline where she's being watched over by Beast, and her mom is alive, but it's not her mom, and she is binary. And yeah, it does feel like, honestly, they're setting up for Deadpool kills the Fox universe more.
Yeah,
introduce more Fox universe people, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I don't hate this movie. The reason why the chuds are saying it's bad is bullshit. Like, the biggest narrative I keep on seeing is that it's flopping because women are in the leads, and this is supposed to be like men's territory or some shit. And I'm like, dude, like Wonder Woman is one of the most successful comic books of all time. Women have led comic books forever. This is the worst argument ever. Thank you, and again for the super chat. Be shoehorned in, foreshadowing Deadpool 3. I don't know if I would necessarily say shoehorned.
No,
because it's a post-credit scene. I mean, I would argue post-credit scenes are pretty much like, if you really want to break down, our shoehorning shit in just to get you excited for the next stuff. That's just the nature of it. So I guess technically you're right, but like that's exactly where I'd expect some shoehorning. I would say I felt like I almost forgot about this. The Kate Bishop scene real quick at the end before the credits. That felt a little shoehorned, and I thought that should have been another post-credit scene, honestly.
That really should have been the post-credit scene, and or maybe even the end credits.
Yeah, they only have a mid-credit scene, so they could have had a post-credit scene of that. Because, like, if you don't know Hawkeye, that Kate Bishop stuff comes out of nowhere, and I'm kind of okay with stuff kind of coming out of nowhere in a mid-credit scene or post-credit scene, because that's kind of the point. But like in the main movie, I feel like you need to set that up quite a bit more. But yeah, I guess it's a minor quibble.
I mean, I did appreciate the fact that the first word she said to her was Kate Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, okay, sorry, and that was
Miss Marvel is totally being the Nick Fury, and I can dig that.
I thought that was funny, and I mean, honestly, when I first saw it, I even said Kate Bishop to myself, and then I was like, all right.
I just remembered why I wanted to go over it. So the thing they're freaking out about is the planet where they sing. And you want to know my issue with the planet where they sing is? They don't do enough with it. Like, there's like almost no musical numbers here. They do a bit, but
I kind of would have loved to see like them giving commands in song during a fight.
Yes.
Like, that would have been hilarious.
No, I would have loved like I feel like they kind of cheap out, because one of the main guys who Captain Marvel is like engaged to on that planet, or betrothed to, or whatever, he is bilingual. And I will say, I thought that was funny when she started talking to him normally and he starts talking back normally, and like Miss Marvel and Monica are like, huh, what, huh? And Captain Marvel's like, yeah, he's bilingual. He can sing and regular talk. That was funny. But like, I feel like they also kind of use that to kind of cheap out of the whole singing gimmick they just designed. Because after that, it's pretty much just talking. It's like, no, set up this singing gimmick and just let's, on this planet, just go all in on the singing shit. I'm down.
Like, if you're gonna, I was here for it, because it seemed really funny. Yeah,
exactly. And it's one of those things where the people are freaking out about. It's like, it's a joke. You know, it's a joke, right?
Like, there weren't too many people in the theater when I went to go see it. Like, I mean, the photo I sent you,
Yeah.
maybe like 2 people other than myself filled that row later, and like maybe 5 behind us and 4
Mhm.
maybe in the rows spread out in front of me. So there wasn't a lot of people, but that part got a laugh from everybody in the theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
No,
like the
that was a
bilingual
funny
thing, yeah.
line. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even
I
the
got
singing
that. That
thing
was
did.
probably the best chuckle I got out of this movie, and there are
Yeah.
some cute moments in this movie.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, I want to say there was maybe 8 people in my theater. We saw a Saturday matinee, so
Okay.
maybe not prime time, but it is a weekend. So,
Well, yes, so I went to a Sunday matinee too, so
but you know what? Like I said, I don't know if I'd quite recommend this. This isn't doing well, so like I almost want to say I recommend just waiting a couple weeks and seeing it on Disney Plus because
yeah, just
I mean,
waiting for
if you
then.
if you want to talk about actual elements that are affecting box office, the fact this stuff goes on streaming so soon definitely affects the box office. Because
Mhm.
if it gets mediocre reviews, people are more likely to just be like, "Oh, I'll just wait for it to come out on streaming, where it'll be streaming in like 2 weeks or whatever." Um, I know lots of people like that.
Because I know Ant-Man and Quantumania came to streaming a lot faster than I thought it would.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that movie did quite a bit better than this one did too.
Yeah.
That wasn't close. Yeah. Um, is this the worst movie ever? No, not at all. Is
No.
it like even necessarily bad? I don't even know if I'd call it necessarily bad. I won't quite recommend it. I got a couple chuckles, but like I don't know. There's definitely better stuff I've seen this year. And it just feels a little like unfinished would be my biggest thing. And I get the sense there is a good movie here for 3 of these. Man, Samuel, thank you. What is the Chudpocalypse? The Chudpocalypse is a lot of these guys are losing views. A lot of the Geeks and Gamers, Eric July, Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic. Not so much them, but they are losing. They're losing views. They're losing subscribers. Their narratives aren't taking hold. And that's what the Chudpocalypse is. We're just watching and seeing how it goes. But yeah, I guess that's more for narrative stuff. But we do occasionally talk about Chuds on here. Let's see. Is there anything you want to add, Bobby, before we go on to Hunger Games?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. So 2012's The Hunger Games is next up because we got a prequel movie. I guess that came out this week, so we'll be a week behind on that one too. I blame Depeche Mode. So Bobby, you hadn't seen this before?
No, never.
I'm interested in your takes.
Okay, this is one that I kind of kind of a lot like Wheel of Time. Like I feel like I didn't do the required reading to understand it. Now the plot and everything and the setup of it. Okay, cool. I'm here for it. That's interesting enough. I just wish this movie went into a little bit more of the why. Like how did this war? Let's see this war that caused all this. Let's just not gloss over it in a sentence or anything. It just, how do the districts get separated? Like what determines you to be in what part or whatever? Like that, a lot of that kind of threw me off, but I felt that they glossed it over. And it's like, if for the average viewer, if like you know nothing about it, but you're just here to see the movie, I was lost doing that, and I imagine other people would be too. But it was still entertaining story enough, and kind of predictable how most of the other guys would like end up though.
Well, yeah. So I feel like it kind of drives me nuts too, because like I feel like the second movie is kind of almost a very similar story to the first one, except it's told so much better. Because and then the third and fourth one are kind of nowhere. But anyway, so like this is this nation of Panem, and there's some great war that we don't know about.
Yeah.
It was in some sort of past, and everybody's separated out into districts, and each district has their own like supplies they make. And like I don't know if they really like they kind of imply it, but they don't really explain it. But like as the districts get higher in number, the less resources they have to pull from.
Yeah.
So like District 1 and 2, and I think a lot of the early districts, like they will do this thing where they literally train kids for the Hunger Games. So they make like these psycho killers that go into the Hunger Games. and they're all ready for it. They're all blood hungry because it's what they're raised for, and they volunteer
Yeah,
for
like
it, and they just
all
pump
that
money
I
into it.
thought,
Yeah.
all that I felt was well established. I just
Mhm.
just like the how and the why. I was just that to me
Yeah,
is more
how'd we
interesting
get
than
to this? Yeah.
like that to me. I wanted to know more of that, and it's like, oh no, we're just gonna let these children kill each other. Okay, all right,
Mhm.
let's get on with it then.
No.
How much
Yeah,
is
well,
left
I
in this
mean,
movie? An hour.
I mean,
All right.
it's like a it's more of a teenage friendly version of Battle Royale when it gets to that
Pretty
element of
much,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kids killing each other, which is fun. Good fun, everybody. But yeah, when we actually get to the Hunger Games, like it's decent. Like I feel like the director here is going like there's lots of like jump cuts and I feel like he's going for like everything's chaotic type feel of the editing on a lot of the action stuff, which is hit and miss in my opinion. Sometimes I think it's really effective, and sometimes it just makes it tough to kind of follow exactly what's going on. So it's kind of has that issue going on, I feel. I'm not
Yeah.
like again, like I actually really like the second one, and this one I'm more lukewarm to because it's like I think they do a good enough job in this one to get the story across to get you engaged with the characters, because they introduce like obviously you got PETA and Katniss, and you like both of them. You got Haymitch, Woody Harrelson, who's awesome in this, and then you got you actually got Lenny Kravitz in this, who's all right.
It took me a little minute to go, holy shit, that is Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the dresser, the fashion guy for
The
Katniss,
stylist
and it's
guy.
like, hey,
It was like one of the last scenes with him in it, and then I was like, hey, holy shit, that is Lenny Kravitz.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, cool, Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, are you gonna go my way? Are you?
Yeah, he's not
But
bad. He wasn't bad.
I don't know if I've ever seen him as an actor before this, but then I watch this like he's not bad.
Like I've
Okay.
seen him in something like just cameoing as
Yeah.
himself, but it's
Yeah,
only
that
just
doesn't
hey, it's
quite
Lenny
count.
Kravitz.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
acting here. You got Elizabeth Banks covered in makeup, which is, of course, she's supposed to be one of the rich ones. You got a pretty solid cast here. I mean, you got Stanley Tucci and Toby Jones as the radio announcers. Real deep guys.
I enjoyed Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
He's great
Oh
and
no,
everything, but
they were cheesing it up for sure. I mean, that's kind of what the role called for.
It was perfect. It was the perfect amount of everything.
Who else? Oh yeah, you got Donald Sutherland as the president, President Shithead. I mean Snow.
Yeah,
he's clearly like the supervillain of the whole thing. And Wes Bentley is like the game runner. I feel like one thing that the second one definitely
with
does
a
is
real
establish the
shitty beard.
rules of the game.
With shitty facial hair.
Yeah, that facial hair. Like it kind like I think that's supposed to be because so much of like the early district fashion is like insane. Although I don't actually now I think about it, I don't think that's supposed to be early district. I think that's supposed to be like the main city, which I don't know if they explain that really well because there's a main city and then there's outer districts. Main city doesn't have to compete. Yeah. And then the main city is just like all these rich fuckers who are just opulent as fuck. Who he was Donald Trump in the Hunger Games. Are you talking about Donald Sutherland? Because President Snow is a lot smarter than Donald Trump, so I'm not quite there on that one. Donald Trump, like, say what you will about Donald Trump, he literally just says whatever he thinks the crowd wants him to say. Like, he is not like some evil mastermind or anything. I mean, he's a piece of shit for sure, but
oh yeah,
he's not like I will use hope against them. No.
No, he will pander to whatever will give him any shred of notoriety, infamy, or relative. Yeah, he is just so vain.
Yeah, and he's dumb. He's very dumb.
We can only hope that whenever he goes and takes the stand in one of his many lawsuit cases that he's dealing with at this current time, I could only hope that he just allows himself to speak freely in the truth that is well known.
Yes.
Because I know it won't go well.
No. But yeah, like like I would say, this is probably the
But yeah,
second best of the
back.
movies so far. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, back to this though.
I think the second one's really solid, and then probably what kills the third and fourth one for me is that it's one story cut up into two, which was popular at this time.
Yeah. I was kind of
Mm.
surprised to see Jack Quaid get killed so quickly in this.
Dude, I did not remember he was in this. He was so young in this, and like he doesn't have much in the way of lines at all. He's one of the early. I think he's supposed to be like District 2, so he's obviously one of the kids like trained to kill. And the
Yeah.
idea of Jack Quaid out in the Hunger Games just ready to kill everybody. It's like, what? Boimler's gonna kill people? What?
Yeah, I was like, Huey, you know better than that.
Huey.
You see,
Don't be a
Huey, you
jerk,
fucked up.
Huey.
You fucked up,
you
Huey.
killed Rue. What?
That was fucked up.
This is
dude.
not the Huey I know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I did not remember he was in this, and I saw a couple shots of him. I was like, is that Jack Quaid? And then finally, I'm like, okay, I'll pause it. I'm like, that's fucking Jack Quaid. Is like,
So the male actor, Josh Hutcherson, right?
yeah.
Yeah. There's so many times in this movie I think, wait, is Tom Holland in this? No, that's not Tom Holland. That's
Yeah.
not Tom Holland. He was that
Yeah.
kid he was that dude that was in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was the lead in that one.
Yeah, but I just kept thinking he was Tom Holland in this whole movie.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, they have kind of a similar facial structure. I could see
Yeah.
that. But yeah, so I think this movie
like,
is
I didn't-
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't hate it again. Just
Yeah.
it's just I felt like, wow, there could be a lot more to the world building that you could do, because like if they're trying to like get your average moviegoer who has never read the books or anything, I think it would have been to keep them
Yeah.
invested in something that's going to be a franchise if you do some world building. Like I'm
Mhm.
okay with if you do a lot of it, because I'll use Superman 1 as an example.
Mhm.
How most of that movie is spent on Krypton and with his parents. And it's like, wait, you're only like almost a half hour in until, Kal-El gets to Earth.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, they spend a
doing
while
world
there,
building.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's world building. And I think it gets, for me, it invests me more into the story, and I'm more interested in it, and, learning more and watching a story in this world. Yeah, I just kind of feel they could have done a little bit better just telling it. But you said they do a way better job in the second one.
Yeah, the second one, I feel like it flows better, and you get a much better sense of the world in the second one.
Yeah.
It's kind of a similar thing. Like they kind of cheat because like this is the 74th annual Hunger Games. For the second one, it's the 75th one, and then they do for every quarter quell, every 25 years, they do a special rule. And then that one, the rule is only survivors of previous Hunger Games are eligible for this Hunger Game. So, that's the excuse to bring everybody back, and then
Well, Donald
they'll have
Sutherland
to
wanted
kill
her
each other
dead,
again.
so yeah, Donald
Yes.
Sutherland
Oh
wanted her
no!
dead.
Actually,
so,
that
yeah.
is absolutely why he did that. He wanted her dead.
Yeah.
And yeah, so apparently the new one that's out that we'll talk about next week, it is a prequel. So I don't know how much they'll go over, like the past story. I think it's supposed to be about the origin of the first Hunger Game. I don't know that for sure though. But it's got Rachel Ziegler in it, so the Chuds hate it. Because
What
she
did
had
she
the
do?
balls to say, "Oh, she said she's number one. She is the star of the live action Snow White, which I don't care about live action Snow White, but these guys do, because apparently she's like 1/4 Hispanic, and she's not pure white, and they hate her for that one. And then the other thing
They
is
do realize that was a name in the original story,
yeah,
right?
no, that drives me nuts. It's like that is absolutely a fucking name. What are you
like
talking
it has
about?
nothing to do with like skin tone.
Well, I mean,
they realize this, right? They realize
no,
that, right?
they don't. I kind of wish I could just smack them.
Nobody is that willfully ignorant.
Yeah,
Nobody.
I wish I could
Fucking
agree with
Jesus
that statement.
Christ,
Bobby.
are you?
There's people who are absolutely willfully that ignorant.
Well, I know that
It's
there's people that
frustrating.
willfully ignorant, but Jesus fucking.
It's like you know you're full of shit when you say this shit, right?
But
the other thing,
okay, yeah, okay, sorry, yeah,
yeah.
Fuck.
The other thing is that she said they can't make the 1937 Snow White now, so they're gonna have to do a modern day version of Snow White when they do it. I know, what a fucking bitch. I know. It's like, yeah, it's not 1937,
Yeah.
guys. I hate to
Yeah,
tell you this.
that was of course that one was animated.
Yeah. And it that one drives me nuts too. John Campea actually had a pretty good rant about it. I need to clip, but yeah, these guys get offended whenever women say shit. I swear to God. But you know what? Hunger Games, like I said, this isn't one of my favorite movies. I enjoy it, but yeah. Are we ready for Loki?
Yeah, let's get into Loki.
All right.
This
So
clusterfuck of a last few episodes. Holy
really,
God.
so I love the last few episodes.
No, I did too. I did too.
Okay.
Just holy Jesus, a lot fucking happened.
It's all over the place. Like, dude, like the first half of this season had me so just like, oh God, this season's gonna suck, isn't it? Like it's so nowhere. And then it's like I put on episode 4 and I just marathon straight through till the end because
yeah, me too.
It's like all over the place and it is like engaging. It's like it's absolute madness, but I'm like down for every moment of it.
Yeah.
Like you get lots of like Groundhog Day Loki shit where he's literally bouncing around through time trying to get them to do shit faster. He essentially like
that was
my
hilarious.
God. Heavy fucking spoilers. Like Loki essentially becomes a time god here. Like he has his time slips and they come back and then he learns how to control them. And then he learns how to just go back in time and just learn everything he needs to know, like literally everything he needs to know.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous. Like it gets to a point at the end where he's teaching Ouroboros about shit. I was so down for this last half. It's like so I really like Loki season 1. Then the first half of season 2 I thought was nowhere, and then the second half of season 2 it's like, okay, this might be peak Loki now because this is like
they let the shit hit the fan and just keep hitting the other fans and oh man.
Of our 3 topics this week, this is by far my favorite.
This was the first thing I watched out of everything for this week.
Yeah,
and I really wished I spaced it out. I really wish I would have just saved this for at the end.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way knowing. I was hearing good things about it, so I was like, I'll check it out, and I marathoned the damn thing because it was good.
I decided to watch this because I didn't want to start with Hunger Games because I was uneasy about it.
Yeah, I can see that. But
I chose wisely.
Yeah, going into I'm brain farting. Like the whole the whole story kind of is set up I guess real quick. One of my complaints was I didn't like Victor Timely in episode 3 because I just assumed he'd be some sort of villain, but like the stuttering con man thing didn't really work. And like for the last 3 episodes, that is suddenly like downplayed and then you get the revelation that he's actually kind of a decent dude. Like when the time comes, he's the one who jumps at. Well, he doesn't jump at, but he makes the sacrifice play.
Yeah,
and it's like, damn, dude, okay, and and it was a fucking sacrifice play because that was one of the wild moments because he makes the sacrifice play and like before he gets the chance to do anything, he's dead. And it's like, oh. That I think that was the ending of like episode 4, I want to say, and that was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Loki characters for Deadpool 3, anyone? Geez, Sam, thank you again for the super chats, man. Awesome. Yeah, I think season 2 is better than season 1. That's the thing. Like over like per episode average, I'd take season 1, but like this last half of season 2, I just was peak Loki. I feel like everything set up in season 1 like kind of came to be in the second half of season 2 because it's like what we're promising is this insane time travel story, and that's what the second half of season 2 was. Just insane time travel nonsense, and I was down for it. But yeah, I think they do a great job. Great job kind of setting this up. And I guess should we just go into spoilers? I think that's what's slowing me down. It's like I want to talk about the real spoilers here.
Let's dive into the real spoilers of everything.
Yeah. like, I don't see there being a Loki season 3 after this. Like, I
No.
haven't heard anything official about it being over, but, like, I don't know how they continue the series after this. Because Loki, at the end of this, he literally just becomes pretty much a time god. Like, there's this great scene at the end where he's going back in time to the point where Sylvie kills He Who Remains, and, like, he's trying to, like, get her to stop because, like, if he dies, then all the timelines will branch off to infinite, and then they won't be able to contain it, and it'll just, like, destroy everything. And then he's finding himself forced to either kill her or just let time just get destroyed. And what happens is He Who Remains, being fucking Kang, can freeze time. He's like, hey, you've done this before, and they start having this conversation, and then He Who Remains resumes time. And then Loki freezes it and goes, no, we're not done talking yet.
Yeah, no,
that was awesome.
I like that because right then we got a different Kane, or at least not the slow, stammering portrayal that we've seen, and that drove me insane. But that one, I was like, okay, where's this guy been?
Yeah,
where has this guy been?
Mm-hmm.
And that I love.
No, it was actually like he was like, you could see how he could become a serious menace there.
Seriously,
yeah. The dude who can just like freeze time, that might be a menace.
A bit.
And then like the way it ends, it's kind of like just so Loki just becomes the god of time, because like he's not going to kill Sylvie because he can't. He cares about Sylvie too much. So his only course is to kind of let the timeline split infinitely, and then just blow up the safeguard to prevent that, and then just go in there and just keep all the timelines alive, being a god. And it is wild and kind of fucking badass.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit. Like, listen, you can complain about the Marvels all you want, and oh my god, the MCU is dead. But then you watch Loki season 2, and you're like, the MCU is not dead. This is fucking amazing.
Not at all.
It's allowed to have stumbling blocks, guys. Here's the deal. Like, no matter how long, any franchise that goes on as long as the MCU will have stumbling blocks.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like the Marvels is probably just one of those. Of course, I would also argue like Thor: The Dark World is one of those too.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like I'll say it before and I'll say it again. The MCU's greatest thing is not that all its movies and projects are fucking perfect masterpieces. Its biggest thing is that it hasn't shit the bed. Fox has shit the bed with quite a few Marvel properties. MCU really hasn't. And even with the Marvels, it hasn't.
So which time do you think they shat the bed more good and proper? Fantastic Four 2 or the reboot Fantastic Four?
Oh, it's gotta be the reboot. The reboot was bad.
Yeah, that reboot was really bad. And it had a good cast too. That was the disappointing part.
Yeah, I know. Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, Jesus Christ. There was no reason for that.
Toby Cabell as like as Victor Von Doom.
Like, oh my god, so fucking wasted in that role though. Like,
he was wasted in that role.
Why would you give him that role and then give him like? Okay, it kind of pissed me off how they fucked up Doctor Doom so much in these movies. Like, they cannot get like one of the greatest Marvel villains right at all in those movies.
They got him right with one line in the first go at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was him just saying, yeah, I own it. And that was it. And it was when they're on their space station. He says it to Reed or something like that. Like that, I go, okay, yeah. I mean, you're more Lex Luthor right there, but that's close enough to do. That's close enough to Doctor Doom.
Samuel, Jesus, thank you again for the super chat, man.
Man.
If Marvel goes to shit, would you go for a Boys or Invincible Cinematic Universe? Marvel doesn't have to go for shit because I will happily take Cinematic Universe. I mean, we're already in a Boys Cinematic Universe. Well, I guess it's not cinematic, but we're in a Boys shared universe with Gen V. And then I don't know if there's any spin-offs planned for Invincible, but those are awesome.
We'll find out.
I'm down for them. Yeah. But yeah, Loki season 2, fantastic. Anything you want to add, Bobby?
Oh, absolutely. No, this was a wild.
Yeah, it is
season.
insane.
It's crazy, but I loved it. Yeah.
Like, if the idea of Loki becoming an absolute time god sounds cool to you, you have to watch Loki because he's so badass by the end. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe only as a cameo is the only way I could see him popping up in any future property. But
well,
it
that's
would
the
have
thing
to.
that
It would
yeah, it would
definitely
either be
probably be a Doctor Strange. Yeah.
I have heard the rumor. It's this is absolutely a rumor. Could be talking out my ass that they're trying that they kind of want to set up him to replace Kang. You know, and that's the thing. When he's that powerful, I could see him as a villain. But I
Yeah.
don't know. They could also just retire the character, in my opinion, as well, and
Yeah, they could.
recast Kang if need be. You know, we'll have to see though. But I don't know. They do kind of set him up to be kind of like almost a new Kang with how like they talked at the end of season 2. You know,
A little bit.
it's like
A little
yeah.
bit.
So we'll have to see how it plays out. But excellent season 2. I loved it. Doctor Doom should be the villain for Secret Wars. Well, he was the villain for the original Secret Wars. So like fun fact, the original Secret Wars in the comic book, Kang was in it, and his big role was getting killed by Doctor Doom. So, yeah, it's not unprecedented. Ooh, let's get this. Okay,
No, they could do it. They still could do it.
yeah. No,
Oh,
yeah,
wait.
there's still plenty of time.
Oh, did you want to
What?
talk about that headline I sent you last week?
Shit, let me dig it out. I am in the wrong thread. That will slow me down.
Yeah, that would. It was followed with a lot of laughing.
Yeah. That's right. I'm trying to remember what it was. I remember clicking on it and then be like, oh, yeah. Oh, Legend of Zelda. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Machine Gun Kelly
Oh.
wants to be cast as Link.
Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly wants to be cast as Link. You know, as much as I think a Legend of Zelda movie could be cool, not Machine Gun Kelly.
No. He apparently said it in an Instagram story.
Well, you know what? He's allowed to want to, but I'm not game for that one.
Y'all better put me in as him. It's pretty much the extent of what he said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if I don't play Link, we have a problem.
Mm-hmm. I don't like obviously Nintendo is going from the success of Super Mario Brothers, the animated movie, which
they're gonna go animated with it,
fine.
absolutely.
And so we will see a Legend of Zelda movie, and I think Legend of Zelda movie has a lot of potential. But like, I almost want them to treat it like they do Legend of Zelda series, where like if they do a movie series, just like here's returning characters and kind of like world has the same names, but like every story is kind of just its own fucking thing. And we're just
I have a feeling they're going to try and go and make it. They might try and do the same thing like they did with Mario and just have like a lot of in-universe reference all throughout the entire thing, but have its own story, like standalone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, debatably, I don't know. I feel that out of all the games, if they were going to make any of the games into a movie, I think Ocarina of Time would be great. Majora's Mask would be great.
Yeah, there's lots.
As long as they don't do Wind Waker.
Of course, yeah. Chat's bringing up the other story I almost forgot about because I wouldn't mind getting your take, Bobby. Have you heard about the Mr. Fantastic casting?
Oh, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Okay.
Yeah, I like the more I thought about.
They've tried this franchise two times now.
Yeah. Well, the more I thought about it, I was like, Pedro Pascal is kind of fucking perfect because, like, not only like it's almost like cliche casting at this point because he plays like the dad in so many properties right now, and so he'd be the dad of the Fantastic Four. It's almost kind of the dad of the Marvel universe. And the other thing I think is good because so like in Last of Us, we got to see he plays a dad, but like he's not always morally right, and it's like that's actually kind of perfect for Reed too because Reed's not always morally right either. He he skirts that line of morality quite a bit too. So I'm like, he's kind of already played a Reed Richards variant throughout all his roles. So like, could he do it? Yeah. Could he nail it? Yeah. Anybody like it's one of those things where it's like we gotta see how it plays out, but like I'm kind of excited for that cast.
Have they made any other casting announcements?
No.
Or have like the other is everything else just kind of been hearsay? Pedro's the only confirmed cast member.
Well, that's the thing. So Pedro, I'm hearing mixed reports from Deadline. Apparently, he's in negotiations still, so it's not confirmed from Deadline. There's some other sources saying he is confirmed, and I don't know. I lean much more towards Deadline. Deadline, I know, will be conservative, but like with Deadline, pretty much if Deadline reports something, it's happening. They're very reliable. But yeah, I think that's an exciting casting choice myself. I think it's not something I ever would have thought of, but I think it could work great. Anyways, what we got lined up for next week?
Let's see, I got it open here. We got the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the new Hunger Games movie.
The Hunger Games prequel. And then we'll be looking at Invincible Season 1, the first 4 episodes. Did you ever watch Invincible?
No.
It'll be good to get your first take. It's been like I didn't see it since it came out, but it is good. It is dark.
Okay, good.
It's like a bright, colorful superhero movie that's also dark. And then we're also going to be looking at the Doctor Who, one of the 60th anniversary specials, the Star Beast, which should be fun because I haven't watched Doctor Who in a few years, and I was like, fuck it. David Tennant's back. I'll watch.
Yeah, this is the one with David Tennant, yeah. And when does that
these are the anniversary specials with David Tennant. That will be on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure I think it's like the 25th is when it comes out.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Jesus. Thank you again, Sam. They need a Dark Knight for the MCU. Godly acting, grounded, and deep philosophical messaging. I don't know. I kind of feel like we already got the Dark Knight. I don't know if they need to do another variant of the Dark Knight. Of course, if they have an inspired director who wants to do something like that, they absolutely can. And I'll be all for it. But I don't know. I feel like the Dark Knight's already been done, so I'm good with the Dark Knight.
And I kind of feel it was done a little better with the Batman.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The Batman is really good, and yeah, I think the Batman actually does the best mix of being kind of fantastical but still very fucking grounded.
Yeah.
Because I know Christopher Nolan really didn't want fantastical elements at all. And you can tell in the Batman, they're not entirely against it.
Yeah. He's Batman. There's like a certain element.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah.
I think we are good.
But
Bobby,
we don't have...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, yeah, but we don't have Pattinson saying one-liners or quips.
Yeah.
He's not saying, Bobby... I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Anything you want to add before we sign out?
No, I'm good.
Well, I'm going to do my regular live stream tomorrow because it's going to be like my last time of the week to get another live stream out because I'm going to be spending the rest of the week with my kids. Although we will do a Saturday live stream with myself, my 2 cents of nonsense, and my daughter. We'll do a Star Trek one on Saturday, talk about the Ferengi, so that'll be fun. So, yeah, that's what's coming up. I'll try to get some videos out. Our video will come out tomorrow, and then Thursday and Saturday, I'll try to keep the regular schedule. But, yeah, everyone, have a good one.
Take it easy.